Welcome to another episode of SickofMeandLonely.com, where we cover relationship and peer bonding advice for the new generation. And today's topic is about body counts. Yes, body counts. I know a lot of people don't like to discuss this, both male and female. Let me tell you why. Males typically don't like to discuss this because they have to deal with reality. You see, ladies, men like to pretend that you're innocent. They like to go around believing that they are the ones that bring you sexual gratification like you've never had before. And in some cases, you may be acting as though this is the case and pretending that this guy is the best lover you ever had, a la faking orgasms. And most guys won't be able to tell when a woman's faking an orgasm because they don't know. Certain guys will know because a woman's vagina behaves in conjunction with her vocal and physical mannerisms. It will begin to pulsate, tighten up. She'll start going crazy. And if she's really having a good orgasm, the pressure from her vagina will attempt to push your phallus out of her. You may be asking, okay, if that does happen, what am I supposed to do? You're supposed to ram your phallus deeper inside of her. That will heighten her climatic experience. She might pass out. She might yell at a pitch that's equivalent to an animal, a shrieking sound, perhaps. But you get the point. Now, ladies like to avoid this question like the plague, because no matter what society is telling them, they understand that no man really wants a woman that's been plowed through. You may be saying, what do you mean by plow through? Allow me to be specific. Ladies typically start having sex in high school. Some a little before, some after, but we can agree the majority start having sex in high school. Let's say this girl has sex with 3 guys a year. I'm going to keep the number low so you can stay with me, okay? Since she was 16. Fast forward a little bit. That woman is now 36 years of age. Okay? That's 20 years, guys. She's 36 and slept with a minimum of 3 guys a year for 20 years. That would be 60 guys. Now, a full-size school bus, I'm not sure what the capacity of that is. Or a public transportation bus, a metro bus. But 60 people, 60 guys, there's a lot of guys. To put in perspective, I believe a football team, a professional football team, has 52-man roster. So when you're watching the games and you see all those people basically covering a whole side of a 300-yard field, a 100-yard field, that's what we're talking about. But what we're not talking about, excuse me, is how many sexual experiences she had with each guy. Some could have been boyfriends, long-term boyfriends, some one-night stands. So let's say 5. So now you take the 60, you multiply that by 5. That's 300 sexual experiences. Okay? That's at a 3-guy-a-year clip. Now, there are a lot of women out here having sex with more than 3 men annually. So let's say she slept with 7 guys a year. For 20 years. 140 guys. Well over 2 professional football team rosters. Okay? How many times did she engage in intercourse with each guy? We just got to do a median number, radius. So let's say 5 times per guy. I want you to let that sink in for a little bit, okay? 5 times per guy. Do you know how many guys that is? How many sexual intercourse experiences that is? 700 guys. Now, 700. And what you're not taking into account is miscellaneous. You may be asking, what is miscellaneous? What is that category about? Miscellaneous is when she gives oral, okay, hand jobs, pearl necklaces. You get the picture. Do you think, this is a logical question, after engaging in that much sexual activity that it is possible for her to hold you in the highest sexual regard. Now, every time a male ejaculates inside of a female with or without the use of a contraceptive, that male deposits a spiritual DNA resonance inside of that female vaginal cavity. Did you know that? A lot of females know what I'm talking about. They may not have been able to put it in its proper context, but they're well aware from a spiritual perspective what I'm saying is accurate. Now, what this does is create several alpha male personalities inside of that woman that she's unable to control. Allow me to explain. When a man ejaculates inside of a female, there are millions and billions of semen fighting, and they're blind. They're fighting to find the egg and be the first to penetrate the egg. That's the name of the game. They don't know exactly where they're going. Some go to muscle tissue. They just dig in any way they can, and they're eager. So the one that actually impregnates the female is the alpha sperm within the semen. Does that make sense? Okay, just stick with me. Now, if she's had relations with 140 different males, that means she's had 140, possibly 140 DNA deposits, spiritual DNA deposits, which would then mean she has 140 alpha spiritual semen DNA deposits inside of her vessel, all fighting for dominance. Now, where does this semen commonly lie? In muscle tissue, the base of the spine, and the brain. That is why it is difficult for some, or even most women nowadays, to peer bond and form those puppy love, innocent, feelings anymore. She's unable to produce genuine love at a sustained level for an extended period of time. Can't do it. Why? Because today one of those semen may be in control, tomorrow you may be in control, the next day another semen's in rulership within her vessel. And she also has a heightened sexual appetite that chances are you may not be able to satisfy. This could be unbeknownst to you. If she's had relations with multiple men in one sitting or for a day, and she's done this for years, do you honestly and genuinely think, talking to the guys here, that this woman doesn't still feel some form of attraction based on the sexual experiences she had with those male suitors, and would not buck a U-turn, no signal on, oncoming traffic, just bust a U-turn and go the other way on you? Is that what you honestly think? Ready for the bonus box? Who's ready for the bonus box? She's also had sexual experiences with other women. In some cases, men and women, a la threesomes. I would, if I were a betting man, and I don't gamble, but if I were a betting man, I would say at this juncture in society, at least 50% of sexually active females under the age of 40 have or has participated in a threesome or a same-sex sexual encounter in some way, shape, or form. Numbers could be higher, but the minimum I'd say is 50%. What does that mean, guys? That means that at a drop of a hat, she can get sexually stimulated by either sex. You can't stimulate her like a girl can, a female can. You didn't even know she did that. She didn't divulge that with you. That leads us to how to ask these questions without being ridiculed or having it turn into an argument. It's very simple. Don't approach it in a judgmental manner. Women have heightened senses. They're like bunnies or squirrels or something, cats. They can sense things and they adjust based on their senses to ensure or increase their survival chances, okay? So if you're asking a question and you're saying it with malice or content, they can sense that in your vocal frequency. Your eyebrows may be inverted. Your body language is not in alignment with your questioning. I'll repeat. Your body language is not in alignment with your questioning. So what you would then need to do is make light of the situation. Joke around a little bit. Maybe tell her you've been with a lot of women and you like women who behave like that. Kind of have her relax, come out her shell. Get her talking about a sexual experience if possible. Something risque that's not typical missionary boy meets girl. Seem a little shocked, like, but not negative energy shocked. Like, whoa, but with a smirk. So she's engaged. Like, lead her in with a cookie. Hold the cookie. She comes towards, pull the cookie back. She'll come. Lead her in a little bit. Make her feel comfortable about discussing those said topics. Lead her in a little bit. And once we do that, we will be able to assess the right time to ask. So how many guys have you been with? After she's told you already about a few threesomes and some wild times in college. She should be more apt to share. Now, she's going to tell you the truth? Probably not. But as long as you can get her to give you a number, you can then tabulate and calculate based on her age versus loss of virginity years. You can ask her, women will tell you more readily when they lost their virginity than their total body count. So just through your questioning, you can take that number she gives you. Oh, I've been with 5 guys, 10 guys. And she tells you she lost her virginity when she was 14. You also tabulate a few other things in there. Was it a 2-parent household? Did the parents work full time? Was there any adult supervision? Any guardianship? Anyone watching over her during the daylight hours? If not, that would have given her ample opportunity to be promiscuous, or as the elders used to say, fast. And a funny thing is, I remember growing up in the black community, a lot of the women would almost viciously attack little girls. Say, you're being too fast. You're doing this, you're being fast. You're going to be fast. You're going to be fast when you grow up. You're going to be fast. They did this because at that same age, they were fast. Or they had friends or family members or people they knew that were fast. And they knew that being fast would cast a certain stigma on someone that they may not be able to get from under. So we have terms like heifer, hussy, so on and so forth. So when you listen to these things, please keep in mind that every woman is different and will respond differently. Also ask yourself, and probably the most important question you should be asking, is, do you really, really want to know the answer to that question? Can you handle the answer to that question? For example, she did tell you that, yes, in high school, I slept with 8 of the basketball players on the team. They ran a train on her. She performed oral sex on them. Possibly took a few pictures. And this happened more than once. Would you look at her the same way as you did before she disclosed that information to you? It could be post sex. This could be, hey, I'm thinking about marrying this woman time. And she discloses that to you. How would that information affect you? Also ask yourself, do you really care? I think most guys care. I just think they're too cowardly to actively do anything about it. And when women hear these questions, if you don't ask properly or don't use the proper techniques, they will savagely, verbally attack you. They'll say things like, how old are you? They'll say things like, huh? What? But the way they're saying the huh and what is like, don't ask me that again. And you'll see a clear change in their behavior. And if you want to get if you want to get lucky tonight, don't do that again, ever. Because I will react like this. She'll take a defensive stance, verbally and physically. And that is an indication, a very telling sign, that that particular woman has been promiscuous. Not only has she been promiscuous over her years, she's actually ashamed about it. She's ashamed about it. She's not proud of it. She was young. She was following her big sister, maybe her mother, maybe grandma, auntie, best friend, and they were moving like that. Birds of a feather. Show me your 5 friends and I'll show you who you are. So she could have been a victim of circumstance, a victim of her environment. I'm not trying to make excuses, gentlemen. What I'm saying is you have to take all of these things into its proper context to understand, do you want to know this answer or not? Do you want to go down this road with this particular person? Some cases you know the answer already. Let's talk about that. You already know the answer. And you want to lie to yourself. You know her sex game is way too good and way too on point for her to be a rookie. It's not her first rodeo, and you know that. Her first rodeo was decades ago. How does that make you feel? How would you feel about that? And ladies, do you know why guys want to know this? You already know. That's why you lie. Because no man wants to make a poor investment. A bad investment can cripple a man. Okay? Can cripple anyone. And a relationship is an investment of time, money, energy, and resources. I'll repeat. A relationship is an investment of time, money, energy, and resources. So if a man is going to put his time, give you his time, give you his money, give you his energy, and his resources, he may want to make sure that you're not the village slut. Why? Because this will affect him in ways unbeknownst to you. Let me give you an example. A guy takes you out on a date. Let's say happy hour. You meet up for happy hour. He's paying for drinks, appetizers, bar foods, what have you. He excuses himself to go to the restroom. Now, based on your interaction, your behavior, your mannerisms, how many times you're rubbernecking certain guys, if you look at a guy 2-3 times, he's locked in on you. So when that guy excuses himself and goes to the restroom, the other guys know it's like jump ball in a basketball game. The game has started now. The game has started now. Let's see if she's really with this guy, what her relationship is with this guy. He knows he has about 3 to 5 minutes if the guy's going to pee and wash his hands, if there's a line in the restroom, what have you. Guys know this stuff. So they'll approach you, and based on your reaction, they'll let one guy go in and approach you. If you give this guy any type of smile, positive energy, hair behind the ear, smiling, batting of the eye, any indication that you're interested other than like, oh, I'm with somebody, like, get out of here. They all instinctively know from that moment that you're a jump ball. It is what it is. You're a jump ball. They know that you don't respect the guy, or you wouldn't have did that. They know that you're a little wild, and wild translating into like sex or being freaky or slutty, whatever you want to caption it under. And you're a little fun. It also tells that particular person, that guy, don't take her seriously. You know when you drive past a motel or, you know, on a road trip and it says no vacancies and the light like flashing like that, like no vacancies. Your sign is saying jump ball, jump ball, jump ball. So yeah, the guys may be showing you attention and validating you, but guys know that women shoot their shot by putting guys in position to shoot their shot at them. So if you stand there and talk and the woman can let it go so long that the gentleman may return from the restroom and see this interaction. Why is she doing that? And guys, I know a lot of you have been in this scenario. I know. I get it. Why is she behaving like this? Let me tell you about the male tiger, and maybe it'll clarify things for you. The male tiger will inhale the air and let it travel through the roof and the glands of the roof of his mouth and process that air, tasting it for the female tiger's urine scent. And when it tastes a certain way, he knows she's ready to mate. He will then follow said scent and will find such tigress laying in wait. He will then proceed to start the courting process. If another male tiger picked up on the same scent and meets him there while he's doing his courting process, does the female tigress go, hey, wait a minute, he was here first, I'm with this guy? No. What does she do, guys? She lays down and looks at them both like, well, we don't have all day. The male tigers know what that means. And with the female being the prize, would engage in mortal combat. And to the victor goes the spoils. She will not mate with the loser of that confrontation. She will only mate with the winner of that confrontation. Why is that? Anyone? Because she's genetically programmed to mate with the alpha male to increase her offspring's chances of survival. She cannot help it. It's in her DNA. So when and if you come out that restroom and you see that young woman behaving like a tigress, make sure you don't behave like a tiger. Why is this? Why is this important? Because in today's society, this can go on daily. Ask yourself, do you have time to engage with all these male tigers? Especially when she's virtue signaling and giving off the impression that she's not there exclusively. The vacancy sign is flashing. She's in her WNBA uniform. She's a jump ball. Headband on, wristband on, knee pads, everything. Mouthpiece in. She's a jump ball. Now, do you want to make the foolish mistake of attempting to have a stable life with a jump ball? Some of you are married to jump balls. How's that working out for you? Did it get better? Some of you have babies by jump balls. They're taking your son or daughter to their play cousin's house or cookout, their play brother's whatever, mama's house. Your children have met other men that your woman has slept with or is sleeping with currently. In some cases, you may know it. Other cases, you may not. How does that make you feel? How do you feel about that? Doesn't feel good, right? Of course not. So to the guys who are not in these particular situations, you can avoid these things by paying attention to the signs, all the red flags, and by trying to find out what her body count is. All right, guys, that wraps up this session. I'd like to thank you all for tuning in. And if you do need counseling for your relationship, any relationship advice, you can contact us at sickofbeinglonely.com. That is sickofbeinglonely.com. Standard fees may apply. Thank you.